The title, what was the idea behind it?
I think, yeah, I mean, the same expression I had when I thought, me and Aditya Dhar, both of us thought of this title called Baramulla. Overall, of course, Kashmir in general, if you think about it, the whole point was to supernatural elements in it. Can we make it thriller? Can we also have action in it? And at the same time, can we tap on the spooky elements that Kashmir and that greyness of Kashmir that can, that can be brought on the silver screen.
Were you told the title first or were you told the story first? Because the title again, you'll be like, I want to do Baramulla, but what is it?
कैसे एक गोवा में बैठे समुद्र को देखते हुए एक आदमी के दिमाग में पहाड़ बर्फ और वादियाँ और वैली की एक ऐसी और आई थिंक ऐसी कहानियाँ मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत नेचुरल है कि जो कश्मीर को बिलोंग नहीं करता है उसके दिमाग में बहुत जल्दी आती है क्योंकि जो द फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन ऑफ कश्मीर इज ऑलवेज वेरी स्टनिंग एंड व्हेन आई रेड द स्क्रिप्ट आई थॉट दैट दिस इज सुप्रीमली इंटरेस्टिंग.
पहले उरी वो भी जगह के नाम पे, बारामूला वो भी जगह का नाम है, तो ऐसा लगा कि इस जगह की क्या कहानी होगी. हाँ, ऐसा मुझे लगा ये लोग ऐसा कुछ करते हैं. तो फिर खैर अपना तो होम टाउन है और जगह है, तो बेसिकली बारामूला के ज़रिए पूरे कश्मीर की जो एक सदियों से या ऐसा कहिए बहुत पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी इतनी कहानियाँ हैं ऐसी जगहों पे. काफ़ी कहानियाँ दब जाती हैं और काफ़ी कहानियाँ मतलब ऐसी होती हैं कि हम आदत हो जाती है कुछ ही एक पक्ष से चीज़ों को देखने की. तो ये कुछ ऐसी कहानियाँ हैं मिलजुल के जो आपको जो दिखेगी, उनसे एक दुनिया क्रिएट होती है जिसमें आप इस फिल्म के ज़रिए जाते हैं.
Right. Aditya Dhar, his films always make a point. His stories, whatever we have seen and we've enjoyed, always he's saying something. I've never imagined him being a part of a supernatural something. What was his brief, his idea when you all were discussing with each other?
Me and Aditya to collaborate because Aditya wanted to then present the third short film that I did, which was Amritsar Junction. And then later on, he called me, he said, he kind of introduced me to a slate of the stories that he was working on as a producer. So I told Aditya, this is not going to happen, but I like the thought behind having this kind of a different lens is definitely there. So then I told Aditya that let me just go and I'll think about this proper. I went almost like in a hibernation where I told him not to call me, or there was nothing signed or anything. And then afterwards when I came back, I said, this is the world I imagine it. And that is when I think the supernatural element just kicked in as a surprise for everybody.
Guys, welcome to Bollywood Hungama. What a great title this is. If no one told me anything कि एक film आ रही है Baramulla, I can imagine 100 genres and कुछ भी हो सकती है, something newsy, something different. Firstly, to you, the title, what was the idea behind it?
I think, yeah, I mean, the same expression I had when I thought, me and Aditya Dhar, both of us thought of this title called Baramulla. And overall, of course, Kashmir in general, if you think about it, the whole point was to build something which can be a genre bending thing, where it's not just limited to a horror, which is just the same palette that we have seen years. Can we instill supernatural elements in it? Can we make it thriller? Can we also have action in it? And at the same time, can we tap on the spooky elements that Kashmir and that greyness of Kashmir that can that can be brought on the silver screen. So the whole point was that, and of course then being Kashmir what it is, I think it has been portrayed in only a certain way on the present cinema, what we have seen, the reference films that we have seen, which are based on Kashmir. So the whole idea was, this town, this Baramulla thing just made us explore it through a very different lens, so that we can also understand, can we show a different lens to see the same terrain in a very different way visually and as far as the story is concerned as well. So that I think led to this film.
Right. When you were you told the title first or were you told the story first? Because the title again, you'll be like, I want to do Baramulla, but what is it?
But the thing is, because I am from Baramulla.
Yeah, you both. Yeah.
I mean, we both are from Baramulla. Yeah. So I was intrigued completely that Baramulla and the director is from Goa. I said, what happened? So I was intrigued, and when I read the script, I thought that this is supremely interesting because also the way he has written the screenplay, the way Aditya and they both are have worked on it.
Right.
So it was it was like page turner. Like I finished it in one go.
Oh, okay.
And by the time I finished, I thought I'm going to do this film.
Do it.
So it's amazing.
Right. For you, the same thing. You know, when it came to you, was it the title that intrigued you as well?
हाँ, क्योंकि द प्रोडक्शन हाउस B62 दीज गाइज पहले उरी, वो भी जगह के नाम पे, बारामूला वो भी जगह का नाम है, तो ऐसा लगा कि इस जगह की क्या कहानी होगी। हाँ, ऐसा मुझे लगा ये लोग ऐसा कुछ करते हैं तो फिर खैर अपना तो होम टाउन है और जगह है, तो बेसिकली बारामूला के ज़रिए पूरे कश्मीर की जो एक सदियों से या ऐसा कहिए बहुत पीढ़ी दर पीढ़ी इतनी कहानियाँ हैं ऐसी जगहों पे, काफ़ी कहानियाँ दब जाती हैं और काफ़ी कहानियाँ मतलब ऐसी होती हैं कि हम आदत हो जाती है कुछ ही एक पक्ष से चीज़ों को देखने की, तो ये कुछ ऐसी कहानियाँ हैं मिलजुल के जो आपको जो दिखेगी, उनसे एक दुनिया क्रिएट होती है जिसमें आप इस फिल्म के ज़रिए जाते हैं।
राइट, गॉट इट। Right. You know, do you agree with him what he said? You know, so far, you know, it's been shown in one light. Do you think that's true?
Because also the people who haven't visited Kashmir, they have a very strong image of Kashmir already.
Because of movies.
Because of whatever movies or news channels, जो भी वो पढ़ते हैं देखते हैं, तो सबका अपना अपना impression है. And but I think Kashmir is much more than that.
Of course. Right.
And there are stories and I think people started exploring that. तो जब ये वाली फिल्म मैंने देखी, मेरे को लगा कि यार ये तो एक्चुअली बड़ी नेचुरली कश्मीर में सेट होके इसको इतना इन्हांस करती है इस पूरे यू नो स्पूकीनेस को, हॉरर को, थ्रिलर को, एंड दिस फिल्म इज मच मच मोर देन दैट. तो आई फील कि जब हम शूट भी कर रहे थे तो आई थॉट कैसे एक गोवा में बैठे समुद्र को देखते हुए एक आदमी के दिमाग में पहाड़ बर्फ और वादियां और वैली की एक ऐसी और आई थिंक ऐसी कहानियां मेरे को लगता है कि बहुत नेचुरल है कि जो कश्मीर को बिलोंग नहीं करता है उसके दिमाग में बहुत जल्दी आती है, क्योंकि जो द फर्स्ट इम्प्रेशन ऑफ कश्मीर is always very stunning. And if you just take that first impression and build a story around it, you might have very close to something bearable. So I think हम कश्मीर के हैं, हम शायद ये देख नहीं सकते हैं वो जो ये देख सकते हैं, because first impression is very interesting of Kashmir.
You know, then comes the supernatural element in this. How did this marriage happen of this story and supernatural?
I mean, when I never wanted to do a classical trope horror, which I like sometimes, but I don't feel as a director. It's not enough for me. Then you know, as a director, if you tell me that okay, I have to do a horror, and you know, following the same tropes that usual horror has, you know, where you see the ghost, and then you have jump scare after jump scare. The whole it just wasn't enough for me when I thought about it. If I have to attack this genre, so I always felt that we need to do something with the genre which is new, and I'm intrigued by the myths around the town that you know always exist. I think in land like Kashmir or Baramulla, they're always going to be there since ages. So I felt that then why not utilize that and build a fictional world around it, which is an experience for the audience altogether. So then it becomes something that you know you feel challenged for. Yes, of course, the film has been shot on a very challenging schedule of 22 days in -13, -18 degree temperature. Not a single shot is a green screen or shot in Mumbai. It's everything is in Kashmir. So it was a good experience. Then for me it was like something that I felt okay, this is something that you can spend more you know, you ab ji jaan laga ke aap kaam karwa sakte ho, because usme utni taakat hai. So the whole point was to build something, that kind of a universe.
Right. You know, what is the narration? Do you prefer firstly narration or you prefer reading? I prefer reading. You prefer reading on your own? Why is that? Like just
because I read, I understand while because sometimes people are amazing in narration. And also they tend to, whatever character you know they are pitching you for, they tend to make sure that character is much more interesting than what it is in the script. And also it's then it becomes that who is a better narrator than the you know story. So I find it very best way to approach a film while reading, because I understand reading better than you know hearing the story.
Right. आपको narration or you prefer reading?
आई एम अ वोरेशियस रीडर, तो मेरा तो शुरुआत से ही साहित्य पढ़ने का बैकग्राउंड है. आई थिंक हमारा सभी का यहाँ पे, बिकॉज वी कम फ्रॉम थिएट्रिकल बैकग्राउंड, तो लिटरेरी हम सभी का बैकग्राउंड है. तो पढ़ना अपने आप में एक I think for a thinking actor, reading is he relies more on reading, because if I can see the cinema in my mind,
Correct,
then I don't need even a narration.
Right, but does it ever happen that y'all are reading, we can all imagine our own things while reading, and he may have something else?
That's the beauty of it, because then we can put in a lot of things together.
Correct. What do you prefer?
No, I always prefer, as a director, I'll always prefer narrating, because you can always, you feel it alive, but at the same time, I can completely understand what he is coming from, because you tend to modulate certain things. Sometimes even you put more footage on certain things. Sometimes there is a doubt whether, kya hota hai ki screenplay is a whole together a different ball game. Your story might be great, still your screenplay might be a big problem.
Correct.
So I think analyzation wise, I do agree that the screenplay is going to tell exactly what it is. It's a naked truth.
Right.
So I do agree. So I always like narrating and then just forwarding the copy in case there is a cross this thing that is possible. But of course, I mean, it all depends on actor to actor who likes to read more. I think a organic reader will always want to read as opposed to.
And so after reading, sir also gave a narration.
Okay. So
and he gave a very beautiful narration with a set, like पूरे जो बारामूला जहाँ पे हम जिस घर में करने वाले हैं shoot, उसका पूरा 3D मॉडल सामने था. And the way he narrates, पूरे टाइम खड़े होके इतने घंटे तक पूरे दिन, ये शॉट हम यहाँ से लेंगे, फिर आप यहाँ से यहाँ, तो कहानी के अलावा वो आपको उसमें छोटा मिनिएचर ही सही, लेकिन वो पूरा करके इतना सुंदर तरीके से बताया. देन आई कुड इवन मोर, मतलब मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा वो 3D में वो आपको इमेजिन करवा रहे हैं पूरा सेट के साथ.
Amazing. Aditya Dhar, his films always make a point. His stories, whatever we have seen and we've enjoyed, always he's saying something. I've never imagined him being a part of a supernatural something. What was his brief, his idea when you all were discussing with each other?
I think it's a very funny story basically, because Aditya actually, I'd never met Aditya. The first time I met Aditya was at National Awards, because that was the same year when he won it for Uri. And my second short film had got National Award again. Yeah. So we met in Delhi, and apparently that time I was shooting this small short film only, which was a Punjabi short film. Okay. And I had used one of the actors who was from Uri. Dhairya Karwa. So the thing which happened was, he was not ready to act in it first, because it was a Punjabi character. He had played a Punjabi character in Uri itself. So he was a little worried that this might get a typecasted thing or something. And because Aditya was his mentor, Aditya told him, he asked Aditya, and Aditya said, can you tell me the story? He told him the story. And then Aditya was like, you should do this film, even if it's a short film. This has all happened before. So when I met Aditya, I knew that because of Aditya, I got that actor, even though I didn't have any direct connection with Aditya.
Correct.
So I just met him and I told him, thank you for that, because I got that actor almost for free. He loved the story, and because of you, he accepted it. And then it led me and Aditya to collaborate, because Aditya wanted to then present the third short film that I did, which was Amritsar Junction. And then later on, he called me, he said, he kind of introduced me to a slate of the stories that he was working on as a producer. And I rejected quite a few in them. And there was this one thought that he had, which was just that, can we do something which is horror in Kashmir? Okay. And at that time, Aditya had a very conjuring kind of a expectation that, it might be something like, we might have a doll or something like that, which is a conjuring universe pretty much. So I told Aditya, this is not going to happen, but I like the thought behind having this kind of a different lens is definitely there. So then I told Aditya that let me just go and I'll think about this proper. I went almost like in a hibernation, where I told him not to call me, or there was nothing signed or anything. There was no legal understanding between both of us. But I think it was never required because of the chemistry we had. And then afterwards, when I came back, I said, this is the world I imagine it. And that is when I think the supernatural element just kicked in as a surprise for everybody. Because वो होता है ना हमारी इंडस्ट्री में क्या होता है कि lot of times it's always that you write a story document, then you give it to the producer, then the producer will give you a feedback. Now I come from a Goa kind of a state where we don't do anything that is according to the rule. So nobody knew that I was writing a screenplay with dialogues in Hindi. And so when I came to Aditya and I said, I've taken my liberties and I've tried to incorporate something completely different from what you were planning or you were having the thought. That time Aditya just was super generous to understand the scope of it, and then we started gelling. Then we developed a lot of things together also. I also developed the screenplay along with Monal Thakur, the later drafts of it. So and then everything came together, but the supernatural element was the reason why I wanted to do it.
Wow. Your character Ridwan, do you, because you are from there, it's from there, you must be knowing so many people. Is it, I don't know, because I've not watched it, I'm trying to understand.
Yeah.
Have you modeled it? What is your way? Do you model it against someone you know, or it's just straight, just stick to the script?
No. At times, what happens that when someone, you get a director who understands cinema, and he wants to make the film in a certain way, and then there is a writer who has written something, and he will narrate it to you, and you interpret the character.
Correct.
But here, because he comes from theatre, he has done acting, he has done everything. So he has done everything in the film. So the thing is, when you get a director, writer, like Aditya, you rely on what he has to give you, because he has so much to offer. So rather than create or interpret your own character, you listen to this one guy. And also try to give options to this guy that, okay, this is what you think, and I can give you this. You pick and choose. So then it becomes a collaboration.
Right, fair enough.
But because he was so in it, sometimes it's much better that one person's mind lead everything, rather than you bring your own mind. But because he has invested his so many years before he started shooting it, so you should I mean, he is the captain of the ship. End of the day, whatever we are going to do, it's for him, not for the audience, not for everything. So I just try to do things which he can have options. He can have, like, you can see this from this lens also, but not more than that.
Right. Even your character Gulnar, would you model it against someone you know, or would you stick to what he's written?
सी अगर एक्टिंग की बात करें तो जैसे स्तानिस्लावस्की कहते हैं फॉर एग्जांपल कि आप अपना पर्सनल मेमोरी यूज़ कर लो, समबडी, है ना, जैसे कैरेक्टर दुखी है, आपको कुछ नहीं समझ आ रहा है तो अपना कुछ याद कर लो. दिस इज़ वेरी बेसिक एंड वेरी स्टार्टिंग में जब हम करते थे, व्हेन यूज्ड टू लर्न ड्रामा एट द ड्रामा स्कूल. सो बट गुलनार सर ने इतनी ज़्यादा वो जी रखी थी ना पहले से ही, that I actually had not to do much in the sense कि कैसी दिखती है, कैसी क्या है, वो सब he was very clear with this. उनकी आंखों में दिखता था. He is so, मतलब जो कह रहे हैं ना कि hibernation में चले गए, that's true कि मतलब वो दिखता है कि when he came out with the story, he had everybody in his mind very very clear. So you cannot go wrong when you surrender to the director like that, and you should have somebody who has all the answers. मतलब वो जो questions मेरे दिमाग में उठे भी नहीं, he was answering them also. So I was very clear कि कुछ.
Right. And lastly, earlier, back in the days when most directors were very, I don't know how to say it, but were quite rigid about कि ऐसा ही करना है, ये मैंने सोचा है, ऐसा ही, don't add anything because I'll lose focus or whatever. Today, do you think it is collaborative? When you talk to Aditya also, and you yourself and everyone, you also a storyteller, do you think it's become more collaborative, and actors should in fact come and show what they can do, in fact, sometimes? I think
it isn't. I think there are no rules to it. I mean, sometimes, I mean, you can't still say, there might be a director who doesn't allow that, but there might be reasons for it.
Okay.
For example, I'm just giving a hypothetical example. A Bhansali sir going on a set with a Padmavat kind of a setting. That guy is living it since ages. He knows what he is doing. So, of course, with the maturity, with the seniority that he has, so much to learn. So I think it also boils down to the character of the director, in what way, as a character, what kind of a human being he is, what he is comfortable with. So coming from theatre background, I always had this kind of a process where it's helpful, because I am a little open guy when it comes to, मेरा इतना, मैं बहुत selfish बंदा हूँ. मेरा इतना ही होता है, scene अगर better हो रहा है, picture अगर better हो रहा है, सब everything else is secondary. Nothing else matters. No ego, no other things don't matter at all, because finally your craft is getting better because of a certain chemistry and certain collaboration. So for me that is important, and I follow it till the post, till the last point of the release also. If there is one suggestion coming from somebody, but you realize that, oh shit, it is right, and it might be better, he has got a point, then I genuinely try and make it happen, because then it's going to be good for the film. But I don't think it's a rule.
It's not a rule.
I mean, and I don't think actors also will have a rule. It depends. His connection with me might be different from his connection with another director, and both might be still right in their own space.
Same to both of you. Like, it's because you may get used to two directors who are like, Manav, do whatever you want and however you want. Then suddenly comes another film where director is not letting you do. Is that a easy balance?
I mean, that's part of my job, and also it's very exciting that you are working with different kind of directors.
Right.
But I feel that if you are a trained actor, director shouldn't cross the camera, and you shouldn't cross the camera.
Right.
Both ways. So, if director says that you have to pick the cup and say this line. Now it's my job to find the motivation, find everything, and find the story within my story to do that. So, idea is he is going to direct, and I have to live it.
Yeah.
So, demarcation है वो मेरे को लगता है वो ज़्यादा exciting है because everyone will bring things together, but mostly because we don't have trained actors, so actor tend to, the actor have to go, actor have to show them do like this, but वो ये भी हो जाता है कि मतलब it's not, I can't blame directors because हमारे यहाँ directors बहुत handicapped हो जाते हैं after a point because certain actors के बाद suddenly actors थोड़ा सा उतने ज़्यादा अपनी क्राफ्ट को लेके काम नहीं करते हैं, तो मतलब उनको मतलब हमको एक डायरेक्टर के साथ काम करना पड़ता है, डायरेक्टर को एक ही फिल्म में कम से कम 30 से 40 एक्टरों के साथ काम करना पड़ता है, एंड ईच एंड एवरी सीन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट टू द डायरेक्टर, सो वो परफॉर्मेंस निकालना बहुत ज़रूरी है, सो director has to do everything. Sometimes he has to give space, he's a different actor, sometimes he has to go and perform and show कि this, just do like this. But you can't blame anyone.
Absolutely. What do you prefer? Is there, like, say you work with him and you work with Vivek, do you have your own preference कि I can do it this way?
तो कैसे होता है, स्टेज के बैकग्राउंड से आता है, कम फ्रॉम थिएटर बैकग्राउंड, तो स्टेज इज एन एक्टर्स मीडियम. सो आई वर्कड अंडर वेरी ग्रेट नेम्स इन इंडियन थिएटर सिनेरियो. तो वो लोग का क्या होता है कि आप कुछ भी इम्प्रोवाइज करो, वॉट एवर यू डू, दे गिव अ लॉट ऑफ स्पेस टू एक्टर बिकॉज इट्स द एक्टर्स मीडियम. इवन यहाँ तक कि अगर मेरा कभी किसी के साथ मान लीजिए मतभेद हुआ किसी डायरेक्टर के साथ और उन्होंने कहा तुम यही करोगी, और कम द मोमेंट द ऑडियंस इज विद मी, आई एम वेरी मच कन्विंस्ड कि मुझे वही करना है, एंड इट वर्क्स ऑल्सो, एंड आई डू वॉट आई वॉन्ट टू डू बिकॉज इट्स एन एक्टर्स मीडियम. अभी डायरेक्टर क्या कर लेगा, वो भी मुझे देख रहा है, वो भी ताली बजा रहा है बिकॉज उसको भी दिस इज वर्किंग, एंड इन द एंड ही सेज यू नॉटी गर्ल बट इट वर्क्ड.
Right.
I can't do that in cinema.
Correct. Yeah, you can't do
It's
that.
his lens, it's his vision. I have to surrender.
Right.
Yeah, but we can come up कि सर ऐसा कुछ कर सकते हैं क्या, या even in Baramulla से मैं कई जगहों पे ऐसी मतलब स्टक हुई कि मैंने कहा सर करके बताओ क्या चाहते हो, and he's so good, cool. वो करके दिखा because he's also from theatre ना, तो करके दिखा दे रहा. Okay, got it.
Wow. Wow, I could go on and on, but I can't wait to watch it. Please show it to us soon. Netflix usually shows us in time. Here we are waiting to watch it, so can't wait. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.